Hey guys, so I'm finally back in London. I've just spent the last 3 weeks abroad at Venice and Toronto covering those film festivals. It's been absolutely wonderful. Got to meet some of my peers, saw some amazing movies, got published in the Evening Standard. That was a big deal for me. So yeah, now that I'm back in London and we've grieved for the Queen, and I've got back to work, I feel it's time to start making some content again for you. So yeah, I thought why not do a little recap on the movies that I saw at TIFF with a top 10 movies that I saw. Yeah, these are the ones that I would recommend you go check out. They're the ones that I had the most fun watching or the biggest surprises for me. So yeah, let's talk TIFF. What came in at number 10 for me? Well, it was actually an English movie, one that was available at Venice, but I sadly missed in the lineup. It's called Living, which is directed by Oliver Hermanus. Did I say that right? God, sometimes I never know. Oliver Hermanus. Yeah, he's the chap that directed Moffie and Beauty. This one was actually a recommendation from one of my roommates at Venice, Connor Lightbody. He watched this on day 1 or 2 at the festival. I missed it, but he seemed to really enjoy it, so curiosity got the better of me. I made sure to add it to my schedule in TIFF, and I'm glad I did, because I did enjoy watching this movie. In terms of storytelling, it's not really breaking any new ground. It's a story we've seen before. It's a story of an individual who's played by Bill Nighy, who finds out he's only got so many months left to live. And yeah, because he knows there's an end in sight, it's forcing him to live. Hence the title, Living, way. So yeah, it's basically his movie of him trying to make the most of what little time he has left. Again, it's a story we've seen done before, but what I like about Living is that even though it's a simple story, it's just executed very well. It's well paced, it's well performed, it's well directed, it's well written. It's got a deliciously English script, I'll say that. And it was also nice to see Alex Sharp in this. But yeah, this was a perfectly pleasant watch and it is worth checking out. Alright, so next up at number 9, we have Eric Appel's Weird, the Al Yankovic story. This was actually the first major movie I watched at TIFF this year. It was the Midnight Madness screening of this movie, and my god, that was a dumb decision. My jet-lagged ass thought it'd be a smart idea to force myself to stay awake for the first Midnight Madness screening on day 1 of TIFF, and god, I was exhausted watching this film, but my lord, was it a fun watch. This film was wild from start to finish. It's just one of those audacious, bonkers, zany movies that doesn't take itself the least bit serious. Really, it's a piss take of the biopic genre itself, because it's telling Weird Al Yankovic's story and it's doing it in the traditional biopic way, but it's just so over the top and silly and ridiculous with big musical numbers to some of his best songs like a Surgeon and Eat It. Yeah, it was good fun, this film. I've been saying for the longest time, silly is something that's very scarce in cinema these days. It's in real short supply. So when we do get a unapologetically silly film like Weird Al, I embrace it because, God, we need to laugh sometimes. We just need to champion more absurdist stories like this. And yeah, I just thought, entertainment-wise, it was really, really fun. And it might have been a little bit long, and the further this movie went, the more ridiculous it got, the further detached from reality it got. But you know what? I still had a really fun time watching this, and it was a really exciting experience watching it at the Midnight Madness screening at TIFF as well. It was also really good fun just to see Daniel Radcliffe portraying the accordion-playing parody singer-songwriter. It's just, when Daniel Radcliffe's having fun, I'm having fun. So yeah, comes in at number 9. Alright, so coming at number 8, we have Edward Berger's All Quiet on the Western Front. This was one of the surprise word-of-mouth hits of TIFF. This movie wasn't on my radar even going to Toronto, and then it had its premiere screening. The reactions were just glorious, so I thought, okay, I need to check this one out, and I'm so glad I did because it did not disappoint. This is going to be Germany's submission for Best International Feature at the Oscars, and guys, I think it does have a good shot of winning it. The Academy loves a war movie, and this one is like equal parts 1917 and Saving Private Ryan. It's beautifully shot, it's very visceral, it's very muddy, and it could be a contender in other categories besides Best International Feature. I could see it being nominated for cinematography, for sound, for editing, for production design. Even the possibility of Best Director isn't out of the question for Edward Berger. But yeah, this film just like really grabs you. The action sequences in this are just, they're so brutal. It's very harrowing stuff. Very immersive as well. It's gonna be on Netflix, I'm not sure when, but I do recommend it, check it out, alright? Alright, so next up at number 7, we have the newest film from Elegance Breton called The Inspection, and I'll be honest, I've never seen any of Elegance Breton's work prior to this, but Jeremy Pope was starring in it, and that was like the selling factor for me, and this movie really, really touched me. This is essentially Elegance Breton's personal story of being a young, gay, black man who joined the Marines in order to try and win the approval of his mother, who's played this by Gabrielle Union. And yeah, Jeremy Pope plays our main character in this, and Jeremy Pope, wow, just wow, what a performance. I'm actually a little bit surprised there's not more discourse surrounding Jeremy Pope after TIFF. Like, yes, we're all on the Brendan Fraser express train for the Oscars, but like, there's 4 other slots, guys, and Jeremy Pope deserves one of them slots. Kind of like Bill Nye, His Own Living. I could see either of them surprising in Best Actor, and you know what? They would both be deserving. This is one of those deeply personal stories from a filmmaker where you can see their heart and soul is on the screen. I thought I would like this film, but I ended up loving it. All right, so next up at number 6, we have the big ticket item of TIFF this year, which was Steven Spielberg's The Fabelmans. This was actually Steven Spielberg's first ever time launching a film at the Toronto Film Festival, and audiences freaking loved it because it won the People's Choice Award at TIFF, guys, meaning it is a legit contender and arguably frontrunner for Best Picture at the Oscars next year. And you know what? It deserves it. Like, The Fabelmans is pure Spielbergian schmaltz. It's his type of storytelling in all the ways that we know and love. And you know what? I was just really enraptured watching this because essentially, The Fabelmans is a dramatized, semi-autobiographical retelling of his own childhood and how Spielberg fell in love with the medium of film. And yeah, it is one of those Academy bait type movies where it's just like the magic of the movies and why we love going to the cinema. Yes, it's very much that, but I don't know, it's Spielbergian magic, all right? Anytime he makes a movie, I'm there for it. And this just really, I don't know, I just really loved watching it. I was just smitten watching this movie. It's gonna be a player at the Academy Awards next year. I can see it getting nominations for picture, director, cinematography, acting nominations as well. Michelle Williams, controversially, she might be going for lead when really she should go supporting. Like, she could win in supporting, but apparently she's submitting for lead. But Judd Hirsch, wow. Paul Dano, incredible. Yeah, I can see them getting some noms as well, potentially. The score as well. Oh my god, the score. They're just so wistful, so magical, so John Williams. Yeah, The Fabelmans did not disappoint. All right, next up at number 5, we have Causeway, which is directed by first-time director Lila Neugebauer. Hopefully I said her name right, apologies if I didn't. This film stars Jennifer Lawrence as a soldier who got injured in duty and is trying to acclimatize back to civilian life. She wants to go back to the army, but has to pass a bunch of medical exams. And in that time where she's healing, she befriends a mechanic who's played by Brian Terry Henry, and they forge an endearing friendship. And that's pretty much all the film is. It's a character-driven story about 2 damaged individuals, both with some baggage that they're trying to heal from, and that's all there is to it. But I don't know, there's a lot of power in this quietly effective drama. I was really swept up in it. Like, it's not a flashy film, it's very down to earth, it's very realistic, and yeah, it's just very character driven, and I was really moved by this. If this is Lina Neugebauer's first ever film, she shows incredible promise, and hopefully we might see some nominations for this film. I really would like to see Brian Tyree Henry get a Best Supporting Actor nomination for Causeway. Like, it's absolutely deserving. He has been doing such incredible work the last few years and hasn't really had a role to really get the attention of the Academy. This could be it. I could actually see him getting a nomination for this. I hope he does, let's just hope the film picks up steam the more we go into awards season. All right, coming in at number 4, we have The Woman King by Gina Prince Bythewood. This was a major crowd pleaser at TIFF. It premiered towards the start of the festival, but I had to wait towards the end to watch it. And the buzz for this film just carried over every single day. People really responded to this movie. And that's because we don't get a whole lot of big studio-funded historical epics these days. Like, they are very few and far between, and we really need to support these film guys because we don't get enough of them, okay? Like Gladiator and The Last Duel, if we don't pay to see these movies, then they're not gonna make them. And trust me, this one is worth watching in a cinema. This film it was so rousing, it was so impactful. I loved watching it. Viola Davis is sensational on this. She packed on some muscle to play this part of this leader of this almost Amazonian African tribe of women. And yeah, they're absolute warriors. She is so fierce in this. Tuzo Baidu as well, who plays an aspiring soldier. Incredible performance, what a breakout role for her. My only flaw with the film is that it's pretty conventional in terms of narrative. Like, you kind of know where the story's going, you know how it's gonna end up, but it's just so well executed again, and there's so few things that I can criticize about it. Everything worked for me. The performances, the direction, the score, the production design, the cinematography, the costumes. Everything just works in this film. Like, go see it in a cinema. It is such a treat. I can't stress that enough. This film is so awesome. All right, coming in at number 3, we have Mark Mylod's The Menu, which is a biting satire / thriller about the world of haute cuisine and the snooty tooty foodies of the world. It's a very serrated comedy which takes the piss out of the world of food culture. You know, where you see people doing like photo shoots at a diner of their food and like they're standing on chairs trying to get the perfect angle and lighting. God, it drives me nuts seeing people do that, and Mark Mylod has just made a whole movie about that. The performances in this are great. Ray Fiennes steals it for me, but Anya Taylor-Joy's great, same as Nicholas Hoult. Hong Chow as well. It's very tautly made, this film. Like, it's very well written, it's very well directed, it's very well edited. It's definitely one of the most entertaining films I've watched this year, and yes, really love The Menu. All right, so coming in at number 2, we've got Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, which is the follow-up to Knives Out from writer-director Rian Johnson. I thought this movie was gonna be a fun, entertaining watch, and you know what, it is, but I did not expect it to be this good. Like, this sequel is completely on par with the first film. Some people are gonna say it might be even better. For me, it's on par. Like, I love both of them. Trying to decide which one I like the most is really difficult. What I love about Rian Johnson is that he didn't play it safe with this sequel. Like, he takes some risks and they totally pay off because the structure of the film is completely different to Knives Out, and it's bigger, it's bolder, it's more audacious, and he does swing for the fences with some of the reveals and twists in this, but everything worked. Everything landed for me. It was just so flippin' entertaining. I think a lot of people will agree it's the best whodunit murder mystery of the year. It's absolutely trounced Kenneth Branagh's Death on the Nile. I haven't seen See How They Run yet, but I'm sure people are gonna love this one a lot more than that. The writing is so witty, self-aware, and dry. The editing is so crisp. All of the actors in this are having so much fun, and it's so much fun watching them. Glass Onion delivered. It totally shattered my expectations. And like I said in my review, go watch it in a cinema. It's absolutely worth the cost of a cinema ticket. It's a film best appreciated surrounded by others. Like, you will have fun in a cinema watching this with other people. And number 1, my favorite film that I saw at the Toronto Film Festival this year goes to Nicholas Stoller for Bros. Yep, I am a gay cliche. This movie was made for me, but you know what? I don't care. I had the biggest smile on my face watching this film. Yeah, I'm just so happy this film exists. This is another occasion in the past 12 months where a romantic comedy has topped a list for me. What is happening to me? I think the reason I love Bros so much is because I was taken aback by the honesty in Billy Eichner and Nicholas Stoller's script. I've seen far too many of Hollywood's depictions of gay couples to be so sugar-coated and false. Whereas Bros actually shows the complexities of LGBTQ plus relationships, friendships, dynamics, and our sex lives as well. And I appreciate the honesty, and I love that there's not a drop of shame or guilt or judgment when it comes to like displaying people in relationships or like thruples or group sex or gay parents. Like, it's just so honest, and I love that about it. It just presents us and as things really are. That's just wonderful to see in a big major studio produced LGBTQ plus rom-com. This film really is a game changer, and some people are criticizing it because the two leads are both conventionally attractive cis white males, and yeah, there's room for growth there, but it really has like just opened the door for more stories like this to follow. And for that reason alone, it is a film that's worth celebrating. Bros was laugh out loud funny. Like, this film was done for gays what Bridesmaids did for women. I highly recommend watching this film for everybody, not just the gays, but straight people will have a blast watching this too. It really does feel like a monumental milestone movie, and for that reason, Bros gets my number 1 spot of my favorite films of TIFF 2022. But as always, guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. I'd love to hear from you guys. What films from the TIFF lineup are you excited to see? Whatever you have to say, let your voice be in the comment section down below. If you have enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button if you want more movie, TV, and Oscars related content. Don't forget to click subscribe. And if you want to follow me on socials, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, TikTok, it's all in that video description down below. Don't actually have any popcorn to throw at you guys today, but I'll do an imaginary toss, yes. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Airfield, and I'll see you next time. Kadoosh! Yeah, did you like that? You feel it?